call the meeting to order right now. And first up on the agenda is to review the slate of appointments from the nominating committee. And we have 2 nominations for the Class 4 board seats. One was Lisa Netwick, who is running for another 3-year term in her position as a Class 4 director. And also Judy Schaefer, who is running to fill the unexpired term of Donna Smirelli, who has resigned. Are there any other additional nominations anyone would like to make at this time? Okay, hearing none. Alex, can you give us an update on the ballots so far?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We have received on hand 17 proxies. We were required to have 13 in total. While we're not required to have any additional proxies for the sorry about the technical snafu there. I turned my microphone on, sir, and it apparently wasn't working for me.
Okay.
We have 17 proxies on hand. We were required to gather 13. We do know we have 1 or 2 LCEDC members here today who have not had an opportunity to cast their ballot. We do recommend we allow them to do so, but we do have the sufficient votes required to approve the slate of officer or the slate of board members, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, then, any board members who have not voted who would like to vote at this time, please get with Alex right now and cast a ballot.
Sir, all the votes have been counted. We do have sufficient votes on hand to approve the slate of board members as prescribed by our bylaws.
Right. Okay. So Lisa Netwick will be on board for another 3-year term, and Judy Schaefer will fill the unexpired term of Donna Smirelli. That term expires at the end of next year, 2022. And thank you, everyone, for voting. Appreciate that. Linda, would you like to give us an update on the past year here as far as program overview?
Be glad to, Mark.
Okay.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming. And let's get right into what is going on with Lawrence County's Economic Development Corporation. In general terms, we talk about transforming our community and economic development. In fact, that's our motto. It is on our website. It is on all of our information right now, transforming lives. So how do we go about doing that? First of all, we need visionary leadership, and we appreciate the leadership that's coming from the board of directors. We need a commitment to a vision and a plan. That's going to be when we adopt, hopefully, Forward Lawrence and the plan that will be derived from that. We have to have dedicated business leaders. And we appreciate those of you who are in business who give of your time and talents in order to help us. We know that without a good public-private partnership, that we can't exist. And so our county commissioners, our other elected leaders, as well as our business leaders who come together is, again, something that's critical for economic development to succeed in our county. A workforce, we're sitting here at the CareerLink to try to do workforce development. We know we have a lot of additional work to do, but workforce development is critical to economic development, especially in this day and age. Finally, we need product, and that is something that we need to be working on. The product that we have to sell is not significant enough in our community. We need more, and so hopefully our Forward Lawrence plan will help us succeed at getting more product. Well, January 2017 was certainly a monumental time for the LCEDC and the Chamber. We came together as one group, an alliance that I think has been very successful in all the work that we've done and all of our accomplishments during that time. If you really think about the LCEDC, we're a 501c3. We know that we have to enhance our economy, and we do that by delivering public and private resources in order to spur our employment opportunities, something that we've been striving for all the years that the corporation's been in existence, and especially now with this new alliance. We've got a number of different organizations and programs that are coordinated together in order to provide economic development. And to that end, the fact that we are the administrator for the IDA, for here, the Learning Center, where it is located on the second floor of this building. We work with the Small Business Development Center and SCORE when it comes to entrepreneurship. And we're really pleased with the activities that have been going on with entrepreneurship. We know that we need to continue to work on Forward Lawrence. We have made sure that in order to supply the public financing programs, we're certified by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And we provide our revolving loan fund administration for not only the micro enterprise program through the USDA, but also our local revolving loan funds. Finally, we're the administrator for the Keystone Opportunity Zone. Here's a list of our assistance programs, and we kind of run the gamut. You know, we're proud of the fact that we have the public financing that we provide, but we also do grant writing. Diane Lynn has been great with doing that, as well as the real estate development, the brownfield redevelopment activities that we've had over the years. Business retention and attraction are also very important to us, as well as workforce and community development. Let's get into some of our recent activities. We are certainly pleased with the progress of Stonecrest. Stonecrest, as you might recall, is a golf course right now. It's located in New Beaver Borough on Route 18. Mr. John McCart purchased that property over a year ago, and he is going to develop that into a business park. Right now, Stonecrest Golf Course has been open this year. It will be open in 2022. But after that time, it's going to be transformed, taking 213 acres, making it 100 acres of a very transformative business park there in the southern part of the county. John, we've worked with him in order to get a business in our sites grant and loan. That was $5 million all total. And he expects at minimum a $7 million investment to make this park a reality. We know that at the end of all this, John's vision is to build out 1.5 million square feet of building space. That'll be some of his own investment, as well as hopefully attracting new business investment to the county, and then employing up to 1,000 people. We look forward to that. Next is the Electricians Training Center. This is located in Neshannock Township in the Neshannock Business Park. This 23,000 square foot facility is home to the apprenticeship training facility for our IBEW Local 712. We were able to help obtain 2 RACP grants of $1 million each to help make this $4.3 million project a reality. In fact, Diane Lynn was just on the phone today about the second grant. Keystone Compliance Expansion Project. Keystone Compliance is really a success story for Lawrence County. Tony Masson and his wife came back to town over a dozen years ago to begin Keystone Compliance. And Keystone Compliance relocated to the building that the LCEDC owned there at the bypass. They have grown from a company with only how many employees? They started out with 4, moved to 10, and now they're up to over 30. They know that they need to expand. They do electronics compliance testing, and they have been far-reaching in their activities and supplying testing to a host of different companies. They know that this particular building that they're currently in needs to be expanded. They also intend to build a separate building on that same site. Across the street, they purchased the building, and then, in fact, they even have another building out in Shenango Commerce Park, but that's not part of this project per se. There's a $1.5 million RACP grant that we have obtained and that we're working with them in order to get the project underway. We're expecting that the project will begin spring of 2022. Enterprise Park, this is an area that's located here in the city of Newcastle, basically thinking along East Washington from the courthouse down to Croton Avenue. We know that there are many improvements that could be made in this area, especially when it comes to roadways. And to that end, there has been a DCED multimodal application submitted to the state of Pennsylvania for $2.3 million. The project has a number of different elements to it. We know the roadway improvements, resurfacing Grove, Taylor, Produce streets are high on our priority list. Constructing new sidewalks are also important. We want the safety of the area to be improved. And we believe that there could be a better truck route as a result of this project. Some of the rail crossings there are very difficult to drive over, so we're hoping that those will be improved, as well as making the streetscape look more inviting. Finally, we'd like to see Mechanic Bike Trail extended. So what do we do for the local businesses, especially with COVID and what had gone on? To that end, the County of Lawrence awarded the LCEDC grant funding to provide to our hospitality industry. $968,540 of grants were funding 53 different businesses, ranging from $5,000 to $25,000. I think that we found the businesses to be very appreciative of all the assistance that they received. And I think that it was helpful for all of them to continue to be open and in business today. Forward Lawrence. In case you didn't see, we've got Forward Lawrence shirts on. You can see all of us. Alex, Paul have their version of the men's on, and then we women have a little different version. But we are promoting Forward Lawrence because we really believe that this will be the plan that will eventually be adopted to revitalize and strengthen our county tremendously. You can see that it is the economic development activities that are so important, increasing employment opportunities, expanding the tax base, achieving economic stability, increasing our standard of living, and increasing our county's labor force, all very important parts of a good economic development plan. Who's on our steering committee members? We are very pleased to give you this list of people who have participated so very actively. And in fact, Mr. Eric Carmesy, the chair of the steering committee, is here today. We appreciate all that Eric has given us as far as his time and treasures to help us make the Forward Lawrence program a success to date, and hopefully the implementation to come. All right, Forward Lawrence. Jay Gardner is who was selected to lead us in this endeavor, and he has presented to us his report. We are looking for feedback from all of you as well as others in the community. So tomorrow, Thursday, November 4th, we're going to have a virtual feedback session from 8 to 9. On Friday, another one from noon to 1. And then Monday, actually one that's in person. And it'll be here at the Learning Center, which is again on the second floor of this building. Jay has come up with quite a bit of information for us that we all need to really review, and we love your feedback. In fact, we have copies of it if anybody's interested in seeing it in print form, but it's also online. If you want to register for any of these Zoom meetings or the in-person meeting, see Miss Melanie? Okay, 30 years of economic development. Diane Lynn Richardson, also known as Lynn Heasley, in case you see different names, has been with the corporation / the chamber for 30 years. Yeah, she changes her name, her identity. I've been lucky enough to be with Diane Lynn for 22 of those 30 years. And there's been a tremendous amount of accomplishments that we really think need to be highlighted to let everybody know how hard the activities are and how much work goes into them. So Diane's worked on 195 projects. That doesn't mean just simply a project with that activity. It means 3 or 4 different things that are going on at the same time. She might be helping them with financing, could be a component of workforce development. Could be a brownfield redevelopment or an assessment of the environment. So many different components go into projects that 30 years quickly went past with 195 that are noted. Those 195 projects were impacting over 4,000 jobs, 4,000 family sustaining wages that hopefully were created and retained in our community. Not only does it impact the people, but it also impacts the tax base and what goes on here in our county. And we are really pleased that $106,408,000 of the industrial property value, that's 45% of it, was impacted by the 195 projects that she worked on. It is about improving the tax base, and we work hard to do that. Continuing on, sometimes it's hard to remember about all of the different activities that have occurred and what we've done. But just pointing out, Shenango Congress Park, that was one that was owned, and we still have property owned by the LCEDC in that location. Berner's there, D.S. Smith is there, New York Blower, and of course, Pizza Joe's. Moving on to Newcastle Commerce Park. Sometimes we come up with names for places that other people don't know that that's what it's called. But in Newcastle Commerce Park, you've got the likes of Richardson Cooling Packages. It's on Route 18, Mahoney, Moravia, across the street from the Elwood Group. You've got Rocker Foods there. You've got Houston Group there. Then we move on to the Casey Industrial Park. That's located in Elwood City. And probably the biggest project that went on down there was the Horaeus building. And that's currently owned by Adams Manufacturing. Now, Neshannock Business Park, that's one also on Route 18 in Neshannock. And you might be more familiar with it when you think about the new Electricians Training Center there, Magnetic Lifting Technologies, Velocity Magnetics, CSI, and Dallas Hartman and his buildings. Riverview Commerce Park, oh, that was a humdingy. That was many, many years ago, huh, Diane? We worked on that when I was at the city and she was with the LCEDC. You've got West Penn Printing there. You've got Covanta there. We've had some other interesting projects there that someday when we're having a drink, we'll tell you about. Finally, Midtown. That's here in the city of Newcastle. It's on Industrial Street. And it was where Newcastle Refractories was located. We did a tremendous amount of work there. And McClymonds Transload is now currently located there. Moving on, Lawrence County Learning Center. I'm proud of the fact that I've been a board member for the Learning Center for well over a decade now. And the Learning Center is there to assist with workforce training. We've been administering the programs now for the board for about 10 years. We recognize that with workforce training, it goes hand in hand with the CareerLink, and locating here in the central building, we think was a smart move. And that occurred last year. We have 2,500 square feet of space. We have 2 classrooms. We have a computer lab with 15 computers in there. We've recently rebranded it all. And I really like the fact that we think about adults learning today so that they can change tomorrow. We will continue to support that. And in fact, if anybody's here who hasn't been up to the Learning Center, maybe we can take you on a little tour if we have some time. Next, the SBDC of Duquesne University has been in our community for a long time, but it was only when we became affiliated with the Chamber that funding was obtained in order to get the SBDC to have a consultant here 2 to 3 days a week. In fact, the first consultant that we had for those 2 or 3 days was none other than Paul Butcherelli, who's now on our staff. Paul moved onto our staff this year, and Jeff Jeroen has come on as far as being the business liaison for the SBDC. We like the fact that the SBDC is in our office and is available to assist entrepreneurs, whether they're startups or businesses that have been here for some time. That business planning and the other resources that Duquesne can provide, I think, are very important for the growth of our county. All right, engage. Now, Paul is now responsible for that. And I found an interesting fact, and I've known that for a long time. Business retention is the way that we get the majority of our job growth. In fact, Dr. David Birch of MIT says at least 80% of all job growth in a community is generated by businesses that are here. I will tell you that I feel it's much higher here in our county. And we need to be that kind of vibrant community that helps nurture business climates. Engage program, which is our business retention program, and we're actually funded through the state of Pennsylvania, gives us the opportunity to meet with our local businesses. We do outreach to them because we need to know what's going on with the businesses. Paul recently had a meeting with Randy, and hopefully there's going to be some good successes coming out of the conversations that occurred. We recognize that maybe a good way to go ahead and do the Engage program is to identify focus groups and to have meetings. We've had those successfully down in Elwood City, Neshannock Township, and we're having one this upcoming Tuesday, November 9th, at the Newcastle Transit Authority's boardroom there on Mahoning Avenue. We've invited a large group of businesses, and if anybody here would like to attend, or if you know somebody who could be interested in learning more about what we can provide to them as far as the public sector goes and the services that we can offer, please let us know. You can contact Paul or myself. Okay, we like to work collaboratively, and to that end, there is a business service team that has been established here in our county, and we work very closely with the CareerLink regarding that business service team. The Learning Center, West Central, the Department of Labor, the SBDC, Lifelong Learning Choices, all work together so that we have a group that we can rely upon. When Paul goes out to do his engage meetings, he might invite someone to go ahead and accompany him or bring these team members in, whether it's adult literacy or vocational rehabilitation. So that kind of sums up where we've been, what we hope to accomplish. And we're going to continue to transform lives together. That's Alex's favorite way of saying things. Any questions? Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Linda. A lot of good things happened over the last year, that's for sure. Thanks again, Diane. Appreciate that 30 years. We've got some more exciting things coming up here with Ford Lawrence in hand now, and hopefully more successes over the next few years with that. Does anyone have, before we adjourn, does anyone have anything that they would like to bring up right now? Any comments or concerns? Okay, hearing none, may I please have a motion to adjourn?
Motion was made by Eric Carmesy, sir, and seconded by Mr. John Kernan.
Okay, all those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.